If we have Udvaya at the first place and any Sarveshwara except Udvaya at the second place, then Udvaya will become Varama. So Madhu Yukt Arihi becomes Madhvarihi. Vishnu Yukt Ashritah becomes Vishnvashritah. U changes to Va. Similarly, many other. Guru Yukta Ashtakam becomes Gurvashtakam. Any other for this one? Any example?
Prabhu, then normally like this is Guru Ashtakam, right? Madhu plus Ashtakam becomes Madhura Ashtakam. How is that?
No, that is different.
There also it is U and Ye only.
No, their words are different. That is Madhura, one word.
Okay. Oh, Madhura plus Ashtakam. Okay. Got it. It's not Madhu.
So then,
Prabhu, I'm just wondering, Madhvacharya.
actually, we had a discussion about that in other class, but Madhva is one word, and we cannot literally break it into Madhu and Acharya.
Okay.
Because it's Madhva. The one word is Madhva, isn't it? And other one is Acharya. So it's not Madhu Yukta Acharya. So this is wrong. It's Madhva and Acharya. So it's Dashavtarik Atmake Militva Trikramaha rather than Udvam Vaha. Okay, Prabhu. So like that. Then Ridvayam Raha. Ridvaya becomes Ra when followed by a Sarveshwara. So when we have Ridvaya at the first place and any Sarveshwara except Ridvaya at second place, then Ridvaya will become Ra, normal Ra. So Ram Bhratri Yukt Udayaha. So Ram Bhratrudayah. It becomes the normal Ra. Ram Bhratrudayah. Ram Bhratri Yukt Aishwaryam becomes Ram Bhratraishwaryam. So it's simple. The Ridvaya becomes Ra Ram when Sarveshwara follows. Like that. Yeah. Then Ridvaya Laha, when a Sarveshwara follows, Ridvaya becomes La. Shakri Arthaha, so Ri becomes La, Shakla Arthaha. That's all. Okay. We move ahead. So now I. When A is followed by a Sarveshwara, it becomes I, and when I is followed by a Sarveshwara, it becomes I. For example, if we have Krishne Utkarshaha, Krishne Yukta Utkarshaha, so A changes to I and it becomes Krishna Yutkarshaha. A changes to I. Krishna Yutkarshaha. Yamuna Yai Arghaha. I changes to I. Yamuna Ya Yarghaha. Gopyai Asanam Gopya Yasanam. I changes to I. This I changes to I. Like that. I. Then O Av. When O is followed by a Sarveshwara, it becomes Av. And when Au is followed by a Sarveshwara, it becomes Av. For example, Vishnu Yukta Iha. So O is followed by a Sarveshwara, then O changes to Av, Vishnaviha. Krishna Yukta Atra. So here Au is followed by a Sarveshwara, so Au becomes Av. Krishnavatra. So like this. So A becomes I becomes I, O becomes O, and O becomes Av when any Sarveshwara follows after them. Okay. Then okay, we'll just do one more here, one more sutra, then we'll stop. Eobhyam asya haro Vishnu padante. Arama is deleted when it comes after an A or O that is at the end of a Vishnupada. Now, what they are telling here, like here we studied that if we have A Rama, I Rama, O Rama, or Au Rama, and then any Sarveshwara following after them, then they respectively change to these forms, right? But now there is one exception that if we have either A Rama or O Rama at the first place and A Rama at the second place. So in this case, A Rama does not change to I and O Rama doesn't change to Av like normally they would change to. But rather what will happen is this A Rama will be deleted. Lopa. There will be Lopa of A Rama. A Rama is deleted here when it comes after an A or O that is at the end of a Vishnupada. Vishnupada, just understand for the timing, it's a word that is at the end of a word. So Hare Yukta Atra. So now Hare is a word and A Rama is at the end of the word. Okay, now after this we have A Rama here. So this A Rama gets deleted. And when we delete it, we put this mark here, which is called apostrophe, you know, the apostrophe. And in Sanskrit, we say it avagraha. And even in Sanskrit, when we write it, so the example is Hare Yukta Atra. So in English, we write it like this, Hare Yukta Atra. And in Devanagari, we will write it like this, Hare Yukta Atra. You know, this sign, avagraha. Like this. So this sign simply means it's a deletion of A Rama. And we had A Rama here. Okay, Prabhus?
Yes, Prabhu.
And then similarly, Vishnu Yukta Atra becomes Vishnotra. So when we have to pronounce it, this thing, we do not pronounce it separately because it's deleted. A Rama is deleted. So this comma means it's deleted, apostrophe. So we say Vishnotra, not Vishnu Atra, Vishnotra, simply Vishnotra. Okay. So Eobhyamasya Haro Vishnu Padante. So we'll stop here. I think we did 15 or 16 sutras till this week. We started from 40th or 41st. So please memorize these sutras. Please practice. These are the foundational sutras and which will be used everywhere. So any question till here, any discussion? Anything you want to say, ask, or discuss? Anyone?
No, Prabhu, I have to practice. I didn't do the Bhagavad Gita assignment as well. I have to do that.
Please. I have.
Yeah, sure, Prabhu. By Monday, I'll try to post it.
Yeah. So include the sandhis which we have studied now also. Include those also.
Yeah, sure, Prabhu. I'll try.
And I've received from Prabhuji, Manohar Prabhuji, the homework. So, okay. So we'll move ahead and we'll study Srimad Bhagavatam. This is Canto 1, Chapter 1, and I think it's Shloka 12. Yeah, it's 12. Sut janasi bhadram te Bhagavan Satvatam Patih Devakyam Vasudevasya Jato Yasya Chikirshaya. Hey Suta, the Rishi is speaking to Suta Goswami. O Suta Goswami, te bhadram tava mangalam bhavatu. Let there be auspiciousness for you, let there be mangal for you. Iti autsukyena ashirvada. Okay, autsukyena, the root word is utsukata, eagerness. So they were so eager, the rishis and the munis, to learn from Suta Goswami that, I mean, when there are students, so students generally, they don't bless teacher. I mean, they expect blessings from the teacher, but they don't really bless the teacher. But here, because it's a spiritual realm and anything can happen on a spiritual platform, so before the class begins, so the students are sort of blessing the teacher here, Suta Goswami. And that blessing is not just like a flattering makhanbaji, they say it, flattering. It's not a flattering. It's coming from within, which is inspired by their eagerness to hear from him. So, yasya artha visheshasya, yasya chikirshaya anushthanichaya bhagwan निरतिशय ऐश्वर्य आदि गुण संपन्न सात्वताम सत शब्देन सत्यमूर्ति भगवान स उपास्यत्वया विद्यते एषामिति सात्वताम भक्ता स्वार्थे अन. दिस इज राक्षस वायसादिवत तेषां शुद्ध सत्व वैष्णवानां यादवानां वा पतिः वसुदेवस्य भार्यायां देवक्यां जातः जानसि avagatosi. So now what the rishis are telling, that yasya chikirshaya, so the Lord Bhagwan, who is niratishaya aishwarya adi guna sampannaha, who is, what is sampanna mean? One who comprises of, one who is full of the Aishwarya Adi, 6 gunas, we know the 6 gunas, Aishwarasya, Samagrasya, Viryasya, Yashasah, Shriyah, Jnana, Vairagya, Yosh, Chaiva, Shadnam, Bhaga, Itingana, the 6 Aishwaryas, opulences of the Lord. And that's a definition of Bhagwan basically. So the Bhagwan, who is full of these 6 opulences in full, Niratishaya, in full. He's not partially full of them, he's complete with all those opulences in full. So such Lord, Yasya Chikirshaya, Artha Visheshasya Anushthanichaya. Okay, we'll come back to this Yasya Chikirshaya afterwards. So such Bhagwan, who is Satvatam Pati, who is the maintainer, the palaka of the devotees. So now he's explaining Satvata here. Sat Shabdena Sattva Murti Bhagwan. So from the word Sat, it refers to the Sattva Murti Bhagwan. Sattva Murti refers to the Lord whose form is only, Sattva Murti. How do we say Sattva Murti?
Sattva is goodness, right, Prabhu?
Yeah, his personification of goodness. Goodness personified, we can say. So sa upasatvaya vidyate. So he remains or exists as the worshipable, upasatvaya, worshipable. For those, they are known as Satvatam. So the word Satvata has got its root in the word Sat. So Sat means some Sattva Murti, something which is goodness personified, or we can even say something or someone who remains forever in the past tense, past, in the present, and in the future. That is also one of the definition of Sat. So those who worship such Sat Bhagwan or Sat featured Bhagwan, they are known as Satvatas, they are Bhaktas. Okay? Or they are referring to Shuddha Sattva Vaishnavana, those devotees who are situated in the pure mode of goodness. Or it can also refer to the Yadavas, the family members of the Lord, the Yaduvanshis. So the Lord is the Palaka, the maintainer of such Satvatas. He Jatah Avirbhuta Abhavat. He incarnated in Devaki, who was the wife, Bharya of Vasudev. Okay, so such a Lord, he incarnated to Anushtan Ichaya Artha Visheshasya, to do, to enact, to perform a special purpose, to accomplish a special purpose. Artha Vishesha means special purpose, and Anushtan Ichaya means with the desire to accomplish that. And what is that according to Bhagavad Gita? Yada yada hi dharmasya jnanirvavati bharata. That's like a major Anushtan. That is major Artha Visheshasya, Anushtan Ichaya. So, Janasi Avagata Asmi. So, hey Sutta Goswami, you know about what the Lord incarnated for. What was his Artha Visheshasya? So please tell us that. That is the meaning. The desire, the purpose of the Lord with which he advented, he incarnated. So that is the meaning here. Okay? Is it okay? We move ahead?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
Tannaha शुश्रूषमाणानाम् अर्हस्यङ्गान् वर्णितुं यस्यावतारो भूतानां क्षेमाय च भवाय च. Hey Anga, I was doing some research on these two words. One is Anga and one is Tata, if you have heard Tata. So both Anga and Tata, they are like used with affection. So Anga is basically mostly used for the juniors, who are juniors. Sometimes for the seniors even. But anyhow, it's an affectionate call of hey Anga. So O Sutta Goswami, yasya vasudevasya avataraha avirbhavah bhutanam praninam kshemaya cha palanaya eva bhavaya cha samriddhaya cha bhavati. So the incarnation of Lord Vasudeva takes place for the palana, for the maintenance and prosperity, samriddhi. Samriddhi means prosperity. For the maintenance plus for the prosperity of all the pranis, of all the living entities. Tat avatar viryam शुश्रूषमाणानां श्रवण अभिलाषणां नः अस्माकं संबंधे अनुवर्णितं सम्यक् आख्यातुम् अर्हसि योग्यो भवसि सम्यक् कथय इत्यर्थ. So, hey Sutta Goswami, you are capable, yogyah, you are capable, eligible, qualified to narrate, to tell such avatar Viryam. How would you translate avatar Viryam? To narrate the 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 how would you translate that?
Prowess?
I'm sorry.
Is it prowess?
Yeah, the prowess. The valor, the strength, the heroic activities, I'll say, the activities which are full of valor, so each incarnation incarnates representing a special purpose, and they incarnate with a special capacity, and they emit or they showcase their powers in different capacities. So, O Suta Goswami, you are qualified to 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 tell us such avatar katha which are full of the valor of the Lord to us asmakam nah, who are Shravana Abhilashinam, who are very desirous of hearing about them. So, so this was the meaning that, O Suta Goswami, Lord's incarnation takes place for the maintenance and prosperity of the living beings, and you are qualified, eligible to narrate to us those avatar kathas, let's say avatar kathas, those topics of those avatars, those pastimes of avatars full of strength and full of valor to us, nah, who are Shravana Abhilashinam, who are desirous of hearing them. Right? So this was the meaning. Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhu.
Vivek Bro, is it clear?
Yes, Prabhu. I was on mute. Yes.
Okay. So yes, that's all. So please practice the sutras, and first, like, memorization is there, and second, the sandhis. Please find from chapter 1 Bhagavad Gita. So Manohar Prabhu, you did chapter 1, so you can find more sandhis from chapter 2, and so it's like a self practice. So please do more and more, because one time you do practice, and then rest of the life it's with you. It becomes a permanent asset, basically. So yes, anything to be said?
No, Prabhu. I'm good.
So yeah, please practice, and we'll resume on Monday. Yeah. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.